touch of your lips, dear, but much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can raise welts like nobody else as we dance to the masochism tango. Say our love is a flame, not an ember. Say it's me that you want to dismember. Blacken my eye, set fire to my tie as we dance to the masochism tango.
Hey everybody, welcome to the A-Slut Podcast. That's advice, sex, love, understanding, and trust. Today we have a lovely guest in, one of my favourite people on the planet. Lauren Duke's going to be coming in. She's a feminist, she's an animal rights activist, she's non-monogamous, she's kinky, she's absolutely lovely. So we're going to have a talk to her. For those of you who don't really know about this podcast, it is a wee bit interactive as well. So I'd love to hear from you guys. That'll be the aslutpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to write in or you want to ask a question or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do that. So from there on, I just basically talk to people about their lives, about how they do their thing, what kinks and whatnot they have, what their relationships are like, who they are as a person, what they do in their spare time even. So the activism side of things with Lauren. We'll talk to polyamorous people, we'll talk to monogamous people, we'll talk to people from all walks of life, really, and get to know what makes them tick and what makes them the person that they are. So, it is just me who does this. My name's Simon Bell. If you don't know, I guess, I call myself an unqualified sexual educator. My aim at the moment is to become qualified and to talk in schools about the more realistic parts of sex, not just how to put a condom on, how you can get STIs and UTIs and all of that sort of thing through sex. I want to get into the nitty-gritty of how young people view sex and how we can change some of the views, especially when it comes to the likes of young boys and consent, young girls and consent, getting pressured into it, that side of things, and how to treat these sorts of people as well. A wee bit about myself. I am incredibly kinky myself, mainly around electro and impact. I am polyamorous. I currently only have one partner though, and that's absolutely fine for me at the minute. If I meet somebody right, then that may change, but but I'm not actively looking at that at the moment. Now, the reason I started this podcast is purely for awareness and learning, for myself as well as potentially people listening, to be able to learn a wee bit more about themselves and feel a bit more comfortable about what they're into and what they like, and know that they're not weird or anything like that for liking what they like, or loving more than one person at the same time, or just basically anything really. It's a learning experience for me as well. I like to learn. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I'll be able to learn from people about the way that they do things, which might be different to the way that I do things. And eventually I might get a co-host on. That'll be nice, but at the moment it's just me talking to people, getting to know what they're into, and learning from them. And it's got to be in an understanding way. There's got to be a lot of trust involved, of course, but it's advice, sex, love, relationships, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm always open to feedback. You can find us on Facebook. If you search the A-Slut Podcast, you'll be able to find us on Twitter as well at the A-Slut Podcast. And I really hope you enjoy what goes on. So without further ado, I will introduce my guest. Here's Lauren Duke.
Hello, lovely, I'm corruption. I just noticed that you seemed a little down. Just sign right here on this line and I can change your life. It's a blind shot in the dark. I don't think what you need is love. Take that off, we're gonna make you a star. Well, so you say, like it's cold, like it's cold, like it's cold, like it's cold. Sell your soul.
Hi Lauren, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Cool. So, for those who don't know you, tell us a wee bit about yourself.
Cool. All right. I'm Lauren. I'm 21, so quite young, but I like to think that I've experienced quite a lot for my age. I have a lot to say for myself, and I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom from my few years, but many experiences I've had. So I'm an animal rights activist. I'm involved in a lot of organisations with that. I am a youth worker. I work with traumatised youth who have been engaged in harmful sexual behaviour.
Cool.
I love dancing. I'm a dancer. I've been a dancer for about 4 or 5 years now. So I do perform, I teach, and do a lot of practice in my spare time. It takes up a lot of my life, so that's probably the main.
Now, when you say dancer,
Yeah.
just so we can make sure, what kind of dancing are we talking about?
As much as I would love to do pole dancing and stripping, I love it. I love the freedom. I love how beautiful it looks, and I would love the upper body strength to be a pole dancer. I do partner dancing mostly, so things like Lindy Hop, Charleston, salsa, blues,
Cool.
modern jazz, everything. Yeah, like that. What else? I love the outdoors. I just bought a new kayak recently. I go out on the ocean a lot, see a lot of dolphins, which is always an awesome experience. I love camping, tramping, hiking, walking, everything in between, everything that's not running, basically. That's like the one thing that's a no for me.
I'm with you on the running part.
Yeah.
Cool. Now you're a feminist as well, is that right?
Yes,
You consider
definitely.
yourself feminist?
Definitely do, yeah. All about female liberation. I mostly like to focus on gender equality. I guess that's what feminism really means. A lot of people take it the wrong way.
Absolutely.
But basically, liberation in terms of self-expression for females and gender diverse people. So people who are usually in the minority, or people who are usually more convinced to conform, or encouraged to conform to a certain societal norm, appearance, yeah, that kind of thing. So I like to break those stereotypes and just sort of encourage females and gender diverse people to express themselves in any way they want and be okay with that.
Fantastic. And obviously this is the A-Slut Podcast, so we're going to have to talk about sex, aren't we?
Oh, yes. I can talk about sex all day long.
So what's your sex life like?
Oh, it's wonderful. I have a good sex life, not afraid to say that. I suppose I'm not the sort of person who'd settle for anything less than a good sex life.
Fair enough.
And obviously like to encourage those around me to have a good sex life too. I think it's very healthy to, like, psychologically, mental health wise, sociologically, like just being a social person, being outgoing, just I think it really benefits in a lot of ways. And of course physically too, you know.
No, really?
If you're doing it right.
Sex feels good?
Sex feels good.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
It keeps you nice and fit too. Again, if you're doing it right.
If you're doing it enough, I suppose. And would you consider yourself vanilla, kinky?
Definitely consider myself kinky. I used to consider myself vanilla until my first year of uni, actually, when a couple of brand new friends of mine that I was just driving from uni one day to the mall just came out with, so, do you like ropes and bondage?
What a way to bring it up.
What a conversation starter for two people I've never really known before and don't really know that well. So I, obviously being the fresh out of high school vanilla normie that I was,
The wide-eyed
white girl, yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't really know. I don't know what that kind of stuff means. and got introduced, of course, to the world of kink, and never knew that I was so into that. And yeah, I do really like that stuff. I've experimented with a lot of things, with a lot of people, different groups over the years, and have found some stuff that I really love doing, some stuff that I don't, but that's experience, that's life.
What are some of those things?
So kink-wise, I guess my main areas would be bondage. I really love rope. I've done some rope demonstrations, and some sort of more artful performances, and also some torture-style rope, and sensation rope, just everything sort of A to Z of rope, really. I've also experimented a lot with impact. That's something that I really love. Don't do so much anymore, but I'm definitely still into.
So impact, for those that don't know, is like anything like spanking, flogging, caning, whipping, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Anything where something's hitting the skin.
Yeah.
Really.
And if you're doing it right, leave a really nice mark.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you wouldn't know anything about that, of course.
Just before disclosure, Lauren and I have played in the past. We've been play partners before, so there'll be a lot of chat like that, I imagine, while we're talking today.
Again, kink-wise, I really like sensation. I think that's one of the things I enjoy most about anything kink-wise is the sensation you get, getting to play with different feelings on the skin, different ways of touching, and different ways of sort of psyching someone out, really tricking someone to thinking something's coming but it's not.
So mind fucking.
Mind fuck, yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. Really
I don't know anything about that either.
No, you wouldn't. No, definitely not. That's not an area that you're interested in at all.
I've never done that before. I'm completely innocent.
Yeah. I'm a virgin.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. I've walked on the moon before.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Of course we're bullshitting here, Jesus. And so, what are some things that you've tried and not enjoyed?
I think when it gets too much into the torture elements and consensual non-consent, so simulated rape scenarios or just anything that pushes the boundaries of consensual, of course, but non-consent. So simulated non-consent, and that's not so much my scene. Torture, to a certain extent, I like, but yeah, not as into. I'm more into playful sensations and sort of like fun hitting rather than simulated. I really want to hurt you hitting and make you bleed hitting. I haven't done, but I've seen needles. Not my thing. I'm a bit hemophobic.
Right.
Yeah, anything to do with needles is really not my scene. What else have I tried and not liked?
Because kink's quite a wide
there's
description, because
huge variety.
It's almost like Rule 34 on the internet. If it exists, there's a porn of it.
It's
almost like that with the kink world as well. If there's something there, then somebody's into it in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely, yeah. Have definitely seen a lot of things.
Because there's a lot of things that I'm not into, and you know me, I'm kinky as fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But when it comes to things like golden showers and things like that, it's a no for me. Bodily functions in general is a no for me.
Age play is another thing.
Anything illegal is not my thing. Pet play, I don't mind the whole kitty thing occasionally, but anything outside of that's a wee bit iffy for me as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm the same, I think.
Well, that'd be interesting for you, because being an animal rights activist, as you are.
Yeah, I
like
guess
the animal play would be something a wee bit.
That's not really something I sort of thought of, but yeah, no, I guess you're right. Like, although in the scenario of pet play it is consensual, and obviously they are not animals. Well, they're human animals. They're not non-human animals.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess.
It's a little bit different.
It is a bit different, so my mind kind of makes that difference. However, it's interesting because I can make that sort of difference in my mind, but when it comes to age play, like daddy and little girl kind of thing, I find it really hard to distinguish between, why is this older man pretending this is a baby that he wants to have sex with? That's something that I find really hard to separate in my mind.
Yeah.
Even though it's perfectly consensual,
Yeah.
they are of age, hopefully,
Yeah.
of legal age, you know.
Well,
But-
yeah, you would hope so. Otherwise, it's still
I've
technically
seen
rape, isn't it?
that not happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone
Okay.
has to be removed from the group for not being of age. But anyway, yeah, age play is something that I've sort of tried and stay away from. I mean,
Was
to
that-
each
was
their
that
own.
in our sort of little kink group?
It was, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I think I know the
Seen
person
enough.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won't know names or anything
Of
like
course,
that.
I don't even know or remember their name if I did know it,
Mm.
but no, it was something that I was informed of because I went to a party that they were attending and then found out later they weren't of age. So
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we've gone through all your kinks and everything like that. We've gone how you got into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said earlier, we've played a fair bit. We don't play anymore,
Mhm.
and that was sort of a mutual thing at the time as well.
Definitely.
I think,
it was best for everybody.
Yeah, like for myself, I'd gone through a breakup which was
Yeah.
absolutely horrendous for me
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah, definitely.
I spoke about it on some of the other podcasts as well.
Yeah.
So that didn't work, and we tried not just after it. We had a scene just after it, which
Yeah.
was at a play party,
Yeah.
which actually went all right. I thought it was
I think it
quite
went
a
well
heavy
given
scene.
the circumstances.
Yeah.
It was probably, I think it was the heaviest scene I've ever done.
Mm.
I certainly came up with more marks than I've had before. And I was actually reduced to tears in the scene.
Yeah.
Consensually, everything was fine. I really loved it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, so
But that doesn't normally happen.
no,
Actually.
because what was it saying? You were on a spanking box.
I was.
And we had the TENS machine hooked up to your thigh.
Yes.
Remember? And Impact added onto that.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
That was
for
a
me.
lot of fun for me too.
That was
I
a lot
really
of fun.
loved it.
I came down very hard not long after that.
Yeah, I
Um,
expected to have a lot more drop than I did. I think the drop seemed to happen
Excuse me.
really, really lightly, I
Mm-hmm.
think. But no, you definitely had a big comeback from that. So.
And part of that was because my ex at that time was there that evening as well, so it didn't really go well. But the scene itself was awesome, and I was actually kind of proud of myself during that scene because I kept in contact with you the entire time,
Yeah,
seeing how it felt because I
You
knew
did,
I knew it was a very heavy scene for
pushing
you,
the limits. Yeah,
and
definitely.
and I think that's what excited both of us about it as well.
Yeah, I was really proud of myself too that I managed to push my limits and not say stop when it was sort of reaching the
Getting
end of
to
my
that
limits. I
point.
just kept going.
Yeah, and it was really cool because your partner at the time was there as well.
It was, yeah.
And he's somebody that I'd met a couple of times prior and talked to him about kink. And,
Yeah.
we had a bit of a play around at my house to sort of get him involved with it a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
So, it was a really interesting dynamic and it really was a lot of fun for that time.
It
But
was, yeah.
I think we both knew, I especially knew that I couldn't get involved with anything kink for a fair while after that.
Yeah.
Just because it wouldn't have been safe for whoever I was playing with.
Yeah.
With the way that my mind was, I wouldn't be able to have that level of aftercare that I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So we touched on it there for a moment with drop.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a learning podcast as well. So
Sure,
people
yeah.
might not know about drop and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
of
So
course.
drop basically it can happen for a dominant or a submissive or top or bottom, whichever terminology you want to use. And it's basically when you're going through a scene, especially a heavy scene like ours was with impact and electricity and everything coming through, your endorphins reach sky high levels, right?
Mhm.
So you get all of these endorphins pumping through your body, so you feel fantastic. You've got your adrenaline pumping, everything's going through, you feel like you're on top of the world because it's just there's big release from it. And then sometimes it's hours after, sometimes it's days, that adrenaline and that goes away and those endorphins are all gone and you sort of just sat there and you don't know what to do with yourself, I guess, and you go, a lot of people, sorry, I should say, not everybody goes through this, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realise that it's happening. So I didn't realise for the longest time that it was happening to me, even as a dominant. Keeping in mind I am the switch. And it took a while to realise that and then learn how to deal with that. And like I said, a lot of people don't know about it, so it's something that I think more people, when they're getting into kink, really, really need to know about, because you can make big life decisions in that time that you'll regret 2 or 3 days later.
Definitely. I'm going to break up with someone, I'm going to cut my hair off, you know, I'm going to get a tattoo of this person, like, I'm going to buy all these things, I'm going to do A, B, C, you know, and you're not really in the normal headspace that you're in every day.
No,
you know.
can't think things through clearly because you're not at your regular level.
Yeah, your emotions are fucked, basically.
Yeah, they really are, because, I mean, you've just taken a beating and you've allowed it to happen. Yeah. Which is a mindfuck in and of itself.
That's pretty crazy stuff.
But technically in New Zealand you can't consent to assault, which is what I was doing. You can't consent to assault.
Yeah, it's
so
interesting that sort of...
chucking the law into there with that as well, makes
you even crazier.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
But that's fun.
It's so much
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So you've got a partner now?
I do,
kind of?
yeah.
Do?
No, I do.
Yes?
Definitely do.
Definitely do?
Yeah.
Cool. So he's kinky as well, or is he a wee bit more vanilla, or?
He's a bit more vanilla. He's definitely more vanilla than me. I don't actually think I've told him any of the stuff that I've done.
Oh dear.
Stuff. I know there's
I wonder if he's going to listen to this then.
There's a problem. I told him I was doing this, and he was interested to listen. So, yeah.
Surprise!
Hi, Rob. So, we definitely do some stuff that's not vanilla. I hope he's okay with me sharing what goes on in the bedroom. But,
it's too late now.
It's too late now. So, like, generic choking, spanking kind of stuff, like things that spice up bedroom life a little bit, but aren't
what we did.
Full on leaving marks and black rings around your neck kind of stuff, which is totally yummy when it does happen. But you know, I'm
it's
actually
with the
okay
right person.
Has to be with the right person in the right.
It's all about that connection.
In the right moment, with the right connection, the right, like everything has to be balanced, right?
Yes.
For it to happen and be enjoyable. But no, I love it. You know, it's enough for me to go every day.
And like we spoke about the fact that we've played in front of one of your old partners. Which leans itself to polyamory, I guess. But you don't identify as that at the moment, is that right?
I've never identified as polyamorous. I've always identified as non-monogamous. So I've had open relationships for the past few relationships, I think 3 relationships that I've had.
Yep.
So basically what that meant for me was having one primary romantic partner, but the ability to communicate with that partner about having sex with other people, about doing just nice things with other people. I wouldn't really say dates because that leans itself to polyamory, but
more of a physical.
Yeah, hanging out, and I guess without that jealousy, like who is my partner with, you know. Just knowing, I'm not dating this other person, but I'm going over to their house to, you know, cuddle and watch a movie, and it's all okay. You know, kissing other people at parties, you know, having more people involved in the bedroom, that kind of nice stuff. So that's that's how I consider myself non-monogamous. I say that's what I've had for the past 3 or so relationships. But currently I am with a monogamous person, and so obviously out of love and respect and all that nice stuff, I'm monogamous at the moment, and I'm happy with that.
Okay, so I guess you say you're okay. How do you find it difficult to sort of transition to being completely monogamous when your last few relationships have been non-mono?
Yeah, I say a few things, not that many. A couple of things have been more difficult than I expected. I guess going to parties and not being able to have fun with my friends and my friends' partners, and sort of.
Which is something you're used to.
Something that I've been used to, like with consent, obviously from my previous partners, being able to make out or flirt with other people, and now having to actually keep myself in check, think, you know, what would my partner think of this? Am I showing enough respect to him that I need to? I'm not allowed to make out with people. I'm not allowed to touch people inappropriately with their consent. I'm not allowed to flirt excessively and very badly with whoever I want. I just need to.
Your flirting is hilarious though. It's so much fun.
Thank you, I think. Well, I mean, I'm in a relationship, so something
It's
must be going right.
possibly one of the most awkward things I've seen in my life, but it's so fantastic to watch.
I think I can flirt well in the right conditions, but a lot of the time when I'm faced with an incredibly attractive person, I do turn into...
Well, I mean, you're faced with one now.
I'm currently a quivering mess right now. I couldn't flirt with you if I tried.
So you're pansexual as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
I guess bisexual, pansexual kind of means the same thing to me.
Yeah.
The
the same with me as well, because I call myself a bi male.
Yeah.
But trans people I find very attractive as well.
Yeah, non-gender specific, non-binary, everybody in between. I find.
If it looks good, I want to fuck it.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know?
I just find people attractive, and I guess I'm quite sapiosexual as well. So if a person's interesting and intelligent and insightful and has a beautiful brain, then I'm instantly attracted.
I'm almost 95% sure that's why you got interested in me in the first place.
Probably. I think we had really good discussions and hit it off really well.
Just the way that we sort of got together, we'll keep going back to this as we go through all this as well, because it's interesting to talk about. Because the way that we got together is you watched a scene of mine.
Yes.
At my request.
Yes.
I can't remember how we started talking. Can you remember that?
I think it was either at a coffee meetup, or it was at a play party where I complimented you on something. Probably that's my general style.
Yeah, I think that might have been it, because you watched part of the scene of mine.
Yeah.
And you went, that was really cool. And I went, okay, next time I'm going to be doing this. And it was a Phantom of the Opera
yes,
thing.
it was.
And I had to, so I'm sort of known in the scene.
Yeah.
Either that or wearing an bikini, but that's a whole different thing.
That's another story around time.
That's not just in the kinks scene either.
That's down your street in your local paper.
But yeah, so I asked you to watch this scene that I had, and it was really a really heavy scene as well.
It was.
Came out with a lot of bruises. Lovely girl too.
She was beautiful.
But it was all set to, I think it was 5 or 6 Phantom of the Opera songs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a full theatrical performance by any stretch.
Yeah.
But it had theatrical elements to it.
Yeah, definitely did.
And I might be wrong, but I think that's the side that really caught your attention.
Definitely. As a musician and dancer and performer, I'm really caught by something more dramatic, theatrical, performance-wise. Something that speaks to the audience rather than just being a completely private scene between two people, which, don't get me wrong, is an absolutely beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And is also fun to watch, even if there's no interaction with the audience. But when there is, and when something seems to be performed as a show, I love that, and that really catches my eye.
This absolutely was, because I remember at one point I had 2 masks on.
Yeah.
I had the actual Phantom mask, and I had like a grotesque skin mask underneath. Yeah. And in the middle of the performance, at the time in the musical, that his mask gets ripped off. I remember ripping mine off and throwing it towards the people watching, because there were a good probably 30 people watching.
There were a lot of people there. Yeah.
And I think that was a really cool moment for me in that moment as well.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. And then we just we talked over Messenger and things like that from that point, and it all just sort of meshed together. And we actually ended up planning to do a full theatrical Phantom of the Opera thing at our fetish ball down here. Obviously, it didn't materialise because of the aforementioned circumstances, but that's still something I want to do.
I'd love to do a kink thing. If the circumstances are right, I would love to do it. And that was going to be an awesome one. I was very excited for it.
I think we both were. That life happens.
Life happens, exactly.
You can't get everything that you need. So.
No, you can't.
Just on, I guess a lot of on the kink side of things, a lot of vanilla people tend to view it as quite rapey and quite as creepy, raping,
No, I know what you
and
mean.
has like
Something
sexual
really
assault
weird
connotations
and-
to it and things like that.
Exactly. Something
It's-
like people, I would never consent to that, so I don't believe that anybody else would. I would never do that, and therefore it's weird, and everything that he does it coerced,
Have you come across anybody like that, or the people that you gravitate towards who are pretty open-minded?
Yeah, I
generally?
definitely think that's one key point, is that my best friends and people that I hang around with a lot, the people I don't kick out of my life instantly, basically, are really open-minded people, and are really accepting of, whatever. I've got one best friend who's also kinky, and another one who's absolutely not, and I don't think would ever do any of this stuff. And I mean, she's made her jokes, like, she makes them because she knows that I'm not going to take it badly. She's not doing it to make it personal, like, I don't agree with this. It's not a personal jab, it's just, humour, and I know she's not into it, but she totally accepts that I am.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. But no, I agree with you. I think a lot of people get really the wrong idea about it. And I mean, it's in human nature to sort of consider anything that is foreign or strange to you as dangerous or wrong, and try and shut it down from happening. Which, I mean, yeah, it's human nature. Sometimes you can't help it, but sometimes people are just assholes, and they can't help it.
Even in this scene, you've got people that can be assholes.
Oh, definitely. Like, my kink is not your kink, and some people aren't cool with that. Like,
well, not even that, just really creepy people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember, there was an American guy a few years back in that local scene.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was the one who discovered him.
Yeah, it was the massaging of the
He
ears.
massaged my
right?
inner ear, and I was violated.
And I remember sitting across from you, and I was mouthing to you at the time, like, okay.
And I was like, I'm just letting it happen and seeing what happens here.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, he ended up trying to coerce me into sex, kissing me without my permission. He ended up being deported because I contacted my father, who had some friends in high places. We did a police background check, and he had a lot of convictions. So he was gone in the country, which is great.
And part of that was he was assaulting girls in the backpackers that he was saying, things like that as well.
He was starting fights, sexual assault, lots of terrible
this
things.
guy was really, really out there, which, like, our community in Christchurch is pretty tight, and we're pretty open to new people coming in.
Absolutely.
So, we thought, okay, this guy's new, he's coming in. And then all of this stuff started coming through.
Yeah.
He went to a play party that wasn't really welcome at as well. And he was refused a ride home by somebody in the community as well.
Yeah.
Because of his behaviour, and he went on this live thing.
Exactly.
Basically calling us a cult, which has turned into the biggest joke.
So funny.
It's still ongoing.
Is it?
It's still ongoing. I spoke to them a little while ago, and it's still happening.
The high priestess of the cult and all her minions and priests and slaves.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Because basically the person who leads our TNG, the next generation, got called a cult leader because of it all. Yeah. So the next party we had was a cult themed party.
We all had our little roles in the cult.
Yeah.
Mine was because we called this guy the fuck stain. And I was sort of I felt like I took some responsibility for removing said fuck stain. I was the remover of fuck stains and therefore essentially the janitor. But I was a sexy janitor, I'll have you know.
Uniform and all?
I should have bought a uniform.
That would have been perfect. Yeah, so he ended up actually going to Dunedin before he got deported.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So, yeah, he went to Dunedin before he got deported, but the person in charge of our TNG up here was able to message the people down in Dunedin and warn them about it before he actually got down there, which was kind of necessary.
Oh, it was. It was. He was a dangerous man.
Yeah, I'm really glad that he did get deported because there would have been a lot of trouble here. Yeah. So moving along the same sort of lines.
Moving on from the fuck stain.
Yeah. Well, some fuck stains are good.
Some fuck stains are awesome, even into the good times.
Exactly. But on to more serious notes, I guess.
Sure.
Have you been sexually assaulted? Apart from Foxane?
Apart from him, I haven't been explicitly raped. So I.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. I do consider myself lucky. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say. Like, I consider myself lucky that I haven't been raped, but it's so
and that
prevalent.
says a lot.
That says a lot. It
That
says a lot
says so
about our
much.
society. It's
Yeah.
so prevalent. Some of my friends, my good friends, have been raped. And so, yeah, I guess because it hasn't happened to me, it is either a luck or, you know, I've managed to, you know, handle the situation. But a boyfriend of mine, when I was in high school, coerced me into sex.
Is that pre-king?
A lot. Pre-kink. Vanilla completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, coerced me into sex a few times against my will, but
In what sort of way?
begging, please, you know, I'd be really sad if you don't, please do, you'll enjoy it, I'll really
mental
enjoy
manipulation.
it. Manipulated, yeah, basically, manipulated into having sex.
Not the fun kind of mental manipulation.
No,
not
not the consensual non-consent kind. But no, definitely straight manipulation, and because he was my boyfriend, I thought I had some kind of duty to have sex with him whenever he wanted.
And that's a problem when you're young, I think.
That young female thing, absolutely. I didn't know any better at the time, and I really wish I could go back in time now and give that shit a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
Basically, a piece of my current mind, but no, at the time I just did what I was told.
And I think that's something that we need to actually get into schools. Like my aim at this point, because we haven't caught up in a fair while.
Yeah.
My aim at this point is to become a sexual educator.
That's awesome.
And not in the way of this is a penis, this is how you put a condom on.
Yeah.
This is what can happen if you don't use a condom.
Penis.
All of that sort of stuff. I want to get into the real nitty-gritty things like this, where girls are feeling coerced in sex from young men, teenagers. And get in there and go, no, this is not okay. You do not have to say yes to this. You do not have to agree with this.
And this is how you say no. And you know,
and
start
to be honest, it shouldn't really be on these young girls to have to say no either.
No,
so it's about getting it into these young boys around the same thing.
Absolutely.
And if we can start it now, like right this second, if we can start that now, we can have that completely gone in the next couple of generations.
I hope so. I really hope so. And I think there's, you know, a lot of hope for the young people of this generation. I see a lot more of that kind of culture is coming out, especially around social media. Obviously, social media is horrific for a lot of reasons, but there is hope. There is a lot of reasons.
I mean, the Me Too movement of a little while ago was a fantastic one as well. And the amount of women that stood up and went, actually, I have been sexually assaulted. Yeah. And not even that. What I ended up doing it with, there was a guy who put it up, and I thought that's a fantastic thing as well. It was the Me Too part for men was I've done these things.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see as much.
No, there wasn't a lot of it. Yeah. But there was a small movement on that side of men going, I have made women feel uncomfortable. I have done these things. Yeah. And it's about noticing that and then changing that behaviour so you're not doing that anymore.
Acknowledge your behaviour and move on. You cannot move on from your behaviour and improve as a person until you accept and acknowledge what you've done. And that's a part of every part of life, really.
And honestly, as a male growing up at this moment, I would say that almost every single male has done at least a couple of inappropriate things towards women, without noticing, without knowing,
even unconsciously doing it, not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I don't think most people would do it on purpose. It's all subconscious, and
everything.
This is the way that I've been brought up, so this is how it's got to be.
That's all they've seen their entire lives, and therefore that's how they act. Absolutely.
And TV doesn't really help with that.
Oh no, social media, TV, games, everything. It's pretty bad.
Even peer pressure, because
pressure, boys will be boys.
People are having sex younger and younger as well. Yeah, right? They're becoming a wee bit smarter about it, thankfully. But there's still a long way to go.
There is.
It's almost like you have to have these sorts of chats as soon as they hit the teens, even sometimes before that, which is...
You're going to be exposed to it before that, exactly.
Yeah, which is terrifying on its own. And I think when I have kids, it's going to be if/when I'd love a kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely would. They're going to be brought up in an environment where talking is the best way to get through these sorts of things, and being completely open about what's going on. And I want to be that way as a parent as well, if and when that happens.
Yeah.
So that I know that I've actually brought up my child the right way.
Yeah.
Especially if he's a boy.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's where the majority of the problems are the boys.
Definitely.
And this sense of entitlement when it comes to
Yeah.
young love and young relationships.
Yeah.
Because an interesting thing that I've always noticed is that males are in their sexual prime in their early 20s.
Yeah.
Women aren't until they get to 30.
Pretty much.
You know, past 30 usually. That's why they call it the dirty 30s.
Yeah.
And the naughty 40s.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that the young men are, you know, their hormones are obviously the girls' hormones. They're going through all sorts of things.
Everybody does, yeah.
And that's just, like, as bad as may sound, I'm glad that I'm a boy, because some of the stuff that girls go through is terrifying.
It's awful stuff.
I can't imagine bleeding out for the first time and just going, what, am I dying? What is going on?
The first time.
Oh no.
So yeah, it was not a fun way to say hi, puberty.
Yeah.
So like puberty snuck up and, you know, king at me. Yeah.
But the sexual crime part of it is, I think, a key factor in the boys that are pressuring for it, because they think, okay, this is my time. This is where it happens.
Yeah.
And the girls just like, but I'm not that horny, you don't turn me on
I'm not
that
ready.
much.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not that exciting.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You smell like Lynx and
Lynx Africa, what a time.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss those days.
I used to use that in high school, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
That song?
Lynx Africa.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You get hit on by a boy, you just start singing, I bless the rains down in Africa. But I'm not sure. What?
Yeah, no, that would have been very confusing, but a good way to confuse them enough to stop trying to manipulate me into text. So
that's just that. Okay, she's mental. I'm gonna run.
Yeah, or maybe that's why I'm really awkward when I flirt. I guess because
you start singing Africa.
It puts off. Yeah, it puts off the wrong ones and really attracts the right ones. You know, the ones that are down with the weirdness. Yeah. I'm gonna use that as my defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just weird. Okay. The weirdness thing.
Yeah.
But yes.
What were we talking about? Sexual assault. Oh yeah. No. So apart from being manipulated into sex, growing up, getting older, going to parties at uni, being touched without my consent, being asked for sex by random people who I'd never even talked to or even hinted that I was interested in, but people just assumed I was because I'm nice.
Stupid guys.
You think that it's just stupid guys, but it happens a lot, and it's sort of like if I smile at you and I'm nice to you, it doesn't mean that I want to have sex with you. Right. So it's actually made me think, do I need to stop being so nice? It actually puts me off being nice to people sometimes and being open. Awful. It's awful. I love being open with people. I'm an open, friendly, nice person. I like to think so anyway. And I love sort of coming. Hey, you can shut your mouth, mate.
No, you're lovely. You're absolutely lovely.
And I like to sort of just interact in a bubbly way with people, even from the first meeting. I'm not going to be shy about that. So, and I think a lot of people take that the wrong way. So parties, especially meeting new people, like being grabbed, being asked for sex.
Yeah, the being grabbed part's interesting because that happened to me at uni quite a lot.
Oh wow.
From women.
Oh wow.
Obviously with the outfits and stuff that I was wearing.
Yeah, sure.
And it's that, but you're wearing a mankini.
But you're wearing this, therefore you want this.
Yeah.
Great. That's an important thing. It's not just what women are wearing. It's what any person is wearing.
That's the big thing that I don't want to say it, but more the right leaning people in the world. Yeah. Will certainly go, but he was wearing, or she was wearing that.
Yeah.
You know, that's asking for it. And you sit
Yeah.
there and go, no, fuck you, man.
Fuck you, it's not.
Fuck you.
I do whatever I
No
want,
one's
but
sitting there
it's-
asking to be raped or to be touched when they're not expecting it.
Exactly.
Or, you know?
Unless I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, please come up and explicitly touch me sexually
Yeah.
because I want it, then no, you cannot use
Although
it
that sounds
because
like
she
a-
was wearing it.
That sounds
Or
like
he was wearing it.
sounds like a fun part of the scene, actually.
I would love to wear that kind of shirt. They're in the right environment.
Yeah, go to a play party or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that. That'd be
please touch me
fantastic.
sexually. Please
That'd be
press
fantastic. But yeah, even dudes as well, like coming up and giving a big slap on the ass because I was in a mankini, and you sit there and go,
Awesome,
that-
thank you, I'm
technically-
uncomfortable.
yeah.
Yeah,
Technically, that's still sexual
that is
assault.
sexual
It's-
assault.
Yeah,
Exactly, it's unwanted sexual touching. Yeah, absolutely.
because the ass is a very erogenous zone.
Yeah, Yeah.
If people want to think that or not, it is.
yeah, it
You know,
is. It is.
If you think of 90% of the time when you're with your partner,
Mhm.
you want to touch a butt.
Oh, I want to touch butts all the time.
Exactly. So, yeah, and I didn't think about it at that point like that.
Yeah.
During my uni days, I was looking back at it now. I'm not very proud of who I was.
Sure.
I did a lot of behaviours that I'm explicitly against now.
Yeah.
So at that point, I didn't think of it like that. I just thought, okay, it's a wee bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
And that's a problem as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't sit there and
definitely.
go, that's a laugh. It's like, well, actually, no.
That's another thing to educate people on, I think, is like,
And
it
the-
may seem funny.
I get
but-
the pinches from girls,
Yeah.
or the nipple grabs and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I didn't think much of it. It was just,
Sure.
I actually kind of liked the attention.
Yeah. Of course. That's another thing.
And part of that is because I didn't like myself too much.
Sure. Yeah.
You
I
know,
think that's
my
very similar to a
mental
lot of people.
state's not fantastic at
Yeah.
that point there as well.
Yeah.
So being touched by somebody, even if it was in that sort of sense,
Yeah.
was nice because
Definitely. Yeah.
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 So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I mean, I'm glad that I've come on from that and I realise that sort of stuff now.
Yeah.
That is sexual assault.
Yeah.
You can't do that regardless of gender, regardless of anything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that sort of stuff, I just touched on mental health a little bit there. That sort of stuff without realising can actually lower your mental health threshold, and that's not what I'm trying to say, but you know, it can become like a downward spiral,
Yeah.
I guess.
Absolutely.
because you're focusing on other people
Yeah.
to give you this gratification.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then when you're not getting it, you know, you're not at a party or something like that, you just
Yeah.
walk down the street and the person who did that to you the night before doesn't recognise you
Yeah.
because you're fully clothed or something like that,
Yeah.
and you just sort of sit there and go, crap.
My work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's actually kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so you've got to be really careful on that side of things as well.
Definitely. Definitely.
I've had a tumultuous history with mental health
Yeah.
myself. As you know, with the breakup as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I was like,
Some
oh
things
boy,
can have a profound effect on people.
that was
I think.
the first time in my life I'd gone on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you about it because
Yeah.
you've been on them
I have.
before
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And I was asking a whole bunch of questions about
Yeah.
it because I was not happy with going on them, but I knew it was
Neither
something
was I
that,
at the time. Yeah.
that I knew it was something that I needed.
For your benefit.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
I got sent home from work
Yeah.
because of how I was.
Yeah.
Like I was still functioning, which
Yeah.
was good. I was still trying to get out, and I knew
Yeah.
how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was reaching out to people so much.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I was talking to you, I mean, probably
Yeah.
2-3 times a day. Going,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's going on? I think you and your boyfriend at the time
Yeah.
actually came over because you were genuinely worried
Very,
about how I was
very
doing.
worried. But yeah.
And so I don't know where I'm going with this, but mental health is a big viewpoint for me as well.
Yeah.
For a long time, I was the person that complained,
Yeah.
and I think you've come to me before with this sort of
I
stuff
think
as
I
well,
have. Yeah.
once or twice. But And you need to make sure you've got that support network there.
Definitely.
And if you're acting away like I was when I was at uni, that sort of stuff, and almost self-deprecating.
Yeah.
But it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
That's when you can get yourself in a wee bit of trouble.
Absolutely.
Like and it's not easy to come back now.
No,
Right?
it's not.
It's not
really
easy.
not.
And I guess you probably have a wee bit of this in your work as well.
Yeah.
Within mental health. So tell, first of all, before we, make that segment, what exactly is it that you're doing work-wise? If you're allowed to speak about it.
Yeah, I am. I'll speak as much as I'm allowed to disclose, which is, it'll give you a really good idea. So I'm a youth worker in a residential facility, which means it's 24/7, and the youth who are in there live there. They don't exit the residence except on special outings. So it's a facility for youth offenders who have engaged in harmful sexual behaviour. So sexual assault, rape, non-consensual sexual activity, exposure, basically anything, sexually harmful that is against the law. So they're under the age of 18, of course, so they're youth offenders, so they're not sentenced yet in court. Some of them haven't even been sentenced in the youth court. They've been sent here by Oranga Tamariki, the Ministry for Vulnerable Children, which is previously called SAFS for those who don't know.
Right, so
Child and Family Services. Yeah, so what is now Oranga Tamariki have sent them to us, our residents, which is run by Barnardos, if anyone knows who they are. And they live there, and we work in basically a behavioural management. So I saw our job description, actually. I only learned the other day, even though I've been there for a couple months, a few months now. Behavioural intervention specialists. Yeah, so basically teaching them healthy ways to function, healthy ways to interact with other people, giving them basic care and therapy. There is a clinical team, so clinically trained psychologists, therapists, etc., and social workers who work with them, but we also get some basic therapy training, clinical training, to actually help have really productive discussions with them, because you'll be doing the dishes with one of them and they'll disclose something that happened to them in their childhood. Like I was beaten with a belt buckle around the face by my father. One of them actually said that to me the other day while we were doing the breakfast dishes. And it's sort of like in that moment you've got to know how to say something that isn't like an oh shit reaction, which is actually what was going on in my head. Like I'm
absolutely
furious right now that that's happened to you, because I care about you and I want you to get better, and I'm really upset that this happened to you, and have a sort of productive discussion like, okay, if you'd like to talk about that, I'm here listening, but what's happened to you is an excuse to do that kind of thing to other people, is an excuse to act negatively towards other people. So trying to incorporate all that into a really gentle response, which we get training for. Very difficult, of course, without putting your personal views on it, of course. Yeah.
So some of the therapy and things that they do that. I'm guessing some of that would be around the sexual side of things.
Yeah, they do. So they get people from STOP, which is an organisation specialising in helping people stop engaging in harmful sexual behaviour. They come in and do sessions. In therapy, they talk about consensual sex. We have sex educators come in and do work with them in a group, and they also.
I'd love to talk to some of those guys.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have a knowledge base that I don't have, and like said just before, that's something that I want to go and do.
Yeah, so. Definitely. I think that's a really good avenue. And so they learn about what sex is, how it should happen, how it happens consensually, about what happens biologically when you rape someone, unwanted pregnancies, etc.
Have some of these kids been assaulted themselves?
Most of them have, and again, that's what we were talking about earlier when I said everything happens for a reason, everybody does things for a reason. These boys have grown up experiencing assault, experiencing degradation towards women, experiencing men or women in their lives who physically abuse other members of the family. So
they're just repeating behaviours that
they're repeating what they've seen. They've been taught, this is okay, this is what mum and dad do, or this is okay because it happened to me. And or even like, I know this isn't okay, but it's been done to me and I just want to do it to somebody else so I can release, all the emotions that I have inside of me.
Yeah, sure.
I want to get this trauma out of me, and so the only way that I know how to do that is to do it to other people.
Mm.
That's exactly what's happened. We read their case files when we work with them, and so we have a really good idea of what's happened to them, and it completely explains everything.
Right.
It explains the way they talk, the way they do, the way they lash out, the way they do, why they've done what they've done to land themselves in this facility.
Right.
So, a really good overview. And again, a lot of them have mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
like we've been talking about. And so, learning to deal with them. And I think from a staff point of view, it's really awesome to see the different experience that all the staff members have. If all of us come from a different background, some of us, like myself, have a degree, been educated. Some people don't have a degree but really know what they're talking about. Really have a great experience working with youth, or a lot of the other staff members have worked in prisons or in the police or corrections, etc. Everyone brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
And I think what I sort of pride myself in bringing is I've experienced a lot of mental health issues. I've experienced childhood abuse and trauma. I've experienced sexual assault, a few of the examples that we just talked about. And I've dealt with all those things in a productive way. So I like to think I'm doing pretty well for myself so far. So I think being able to relate to them on that kind of level, like, actually some shit happened to me in childhood too. Or, I struggle with my emotions sometimes too, and it's okay, and we can work through that. That is really useful from my perspective to help these boys.
Yeah. So finding that, I guess, common ground.
Yeah, exactly. Just find something relatable. And of course, there are so many other things that I relate to them with. They love playing board games. They love watching movies. They love to ask me about all Marvel movies that are coming out. They love to quiz me on, just random nerdy trivia. They like to ask me about books I've read. They love books. They're so self-motivated. Most of these boys, they're really into learning, and they want to achieve better. They want better for themselves. They've all identified that in therapy, which we get the paperwork from. They want to get better. They want to go home. They want to get back out in the community, and they know they've done something wrong, and they want to work on it. So it's really awesome when they come to you asking, about stuff in the community, like what did you do on the weekend? You dance. I love hip hop. I want to learn stuff, and I want to be able to perform one day or stuff like that. I want to play music one day too, and stuff like that. Just really helping them be better people and move out into the community.
Cool. Yeah, that really encompasses a lot. There's a lot there.
There's so much there. I love my job. It's so rewarding. I just love it. What I don't love is getting up at 5 in the morning to get there, which I did this morning and I have to do again tomorrow. But other than that, I love my job.
I know that feeling well. I'm up at 3 most mornings
awesome.
for one of my jobs.
There you go then.
So,
it's great. Yeah.
So that was a big download for me as well, because I'm learning about what you do and that side of things as well. So that's kind of crazy.
It is.
So how long are these kids usually kept? Probably not the best word.
Yeah, keep there. Well, I mean they are. They're there basically against their will.
Right.
Oh, they're not shipped off in a locked box basically.
Yeah.
But they didn't choose to go there.
Right.
They are there for about, I think it's a minimum of a year and a half. They're there for a really decent amount of time. A lot of them have been there for 2 years, or even slightly longer. But it's in other facilities there's sort of no minimum stay, and it's really
and is it up to like a board of people to decide whether they're okay to go back in the community?
Basically, we can't keep them too long. There is a maximum. I'm not exactly
Right,
sure on
okay.
that maximum. But when they're done, they either get sent to an oranga tamariku home, so
Mhm.
like a SIPS home,
Yep.
basically. Or they get given caregivers if they can't go back to their biological parents, if it's unsafe for them.
Yep.
Or if it is safe for them and their trauma has nothing to do with the safety of their parents, then they can go back to their actual home.
Okay.
So, I mean, if they're not ready when they leave, if they are going to engage in more harmful behaviour when they leave, that's basically their choice. That we've done all we can, and we cannot, legally keep them any longer. And a lot of them are turning 18. We can't keep them if they're 18. And if they, engage in that behaviour again, they will be sent to prison.
Mhm.
If they're old enough, they'll be sentenced in the youth court. A lot of things can happen to them.
So they more than likely they wouldn't come back to you.
No, it's not likely that they come back to us a second time because, to be honest, if we didn't work the first time, there's not really
not
much.
gonna work the second
It's
time.
not going to work the second time.
It's going to be the same sort of process.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
I guess that could be tough if you've done your best, you've tried your hardest to get this kid
Absolutely. Yeah.
back up to where he needs to be, and he goes
Yeah.
out and you hear on the radio or something like that.
Yeah, that someone's been convicted. Yeah,
That, and
exactly.
you see the name and you sit there and you go, wow,
Exactly. Well, I tried.
damn,
We tried hard.
yeah.
I think I haven't experienced that yet because I haven't
Well, you've not been there too long.
worked there for long enough, exactly. But I'm sure that staff members who are currently there will have experienced that, and it must be such a tough thing. And to be honest, some of the boys that are here at the moment, I'm prepared for that to happen.
Right,
I'm really prepared for that to happen.
and that sucks.
Oh yeah, I mean, but we tell them explicitly when we're talking to them or working with them, like, we want you to do well. I know that you can make the right choice. I know that you are responsible and mature enough to make the right choices in life.
Yeah.
And everything is up to you now. You need to make us proud, make yourself proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
So after quite a lot of heavy talk there,
Yeah.
let's move on to something a wee bit brighter.
Yes, please.
So you're very much a social activist
Yes, definitely.
and animal rights
Yeah,
activist and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You've done some work with Sea Shepherd as well.
I have. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I first joined Sea Shepherd in 2012.
Mhm.
I just signed up as a regular volunteer. I found them at the Vegetarian Expo and I bought a hoodie because it had an awesome logo, and I was like, oh, they save whales and dolphins, that's pretty awesome, I can get behind that. I love animals, so...
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Tell us a wee bit more about what Sea Shepherd is,
Okay.
for those that don't know.
Cool. Sea Shepherd is a global organisation that protect, conserve and defend ocean wildlife and habitat. So they're the guys who fly the Jolly Roger flag and get in between whaling vessels and the whales. So getting right up there, we have a direct action policy, which differs from Greenpeace. Our founder, actually, Captain Paul Watson, was one of the founders of Greenpeace, one of the co-founders, branched off in 1977 because he got told his methods of activism were too aggressive. Which seems odd, but I mean, Greenpeace are the ones who send emails and put posters up and petition, that kind of thing. Sea Shepherd are absolutely 100% direct action.
Yeah.
The best way to get results is to physically stop the thing from happening, physically go and do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. So here in Christchurch, I'm as I say, started in 2012 volunteering and then was named coordinator of the Christchurch chapter last year. And so I'm now helping run the Facebook page. I get emails directed to me, got an email account. It sounds really like low key, but I'm really proud of that. I've got my own email address for Sea Shepherd. So volunteer coordination, we run a lot of market stalls, we do a lot of fundraisers. We've just put on an information evening with some guest speakers from Dunedin. basically working as a team to help fundraise. We're completely non-profit as an organisation. 100% of proceeds go directly to Sea Shepherd. Currently in New Zealand, we're running our current campaign, Operation Pahu. Pahu is one of the Māori words for Hector's dolphin.
Yep.
Because the noise they make when they breathe, they surface and breathe. And so we're trying to protect the critically endangered Hector's dolphins and Māori dolphins that we have left in the country. Which is an awesome cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
But really depressing.
The Hector's ones, are those the ones a few years ago Simon Bridges was going to wanting to drill an oil well when he was the environment minister, and it was the only habitat that was left for them.
That probably would have been the Maoi's dolphins. There's only one habitat
left
in New Zealand for the Maoi's dolphins. It's further up north. I'm not in South Island. And there are only about 50 or so of them left. I doubt there's even that many left currently. Yeah. We don't know really is the short answer. But
I remember reading that a few years ago.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, "You're an environment
minister." I mean, that just really sums up our government, doesn't it? People in positions that have
not so much our current government. I don't think it's not
as much.
Because at the moment,
it has a lot of good points.
Yeah, because at the moment our environment minister is James Shaw.
Yes, exactly.
Which is
Green
fantastic.
Party. It's
He's
fantastic.
the head of the Green Party. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the environment.
Yeah.
Unlike somebody like Simon Bridges who didn't realise that this oil well was going to be smack bang in the middle of it.
Exactly.
Of these dolphins, and he's now leader of the opposition as well, which is absolutely mind blowing to me because he's
terrifying.
It's probably a good thing because it means they probably won't get in power anytime soon. He's that much of a that much of if he got in power, I think maybe it'd be worse than John was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at least John had some intelligence around him. Simon, not so much. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Hector's dolphins.
Yeah.
Going through and seeing those. What you say, and you talk about direct action. What's the direct action that you're taking with these at the moment?
With the Hector's dolphins. So we have a New Zealand vessel. It's called the Loki. It's a beautiful, very small boat. Only cruise, I think, up to 8 people at a time. And basically just at the moment what we're doing is patrolling the coasts to count first. We need to count and document the numbers of Hector's dolphins that we see and really track, what are the patterns, how many are there in certain places, is that changing? And looking at what's going on around the areas where they're not seen so much.
Yep.
So a lot of set nets that are too close to shore, a lot of commercial fishing vessels catching bycatch, a lot of fur seals, whales, dolphins, seabirds, and bigger fish are being caught as bycatch by commercial fishing vessels, and that's something that we can't physically stop because, Ministry for Primary Industries, regulate fisheries. It is a huge income for our country, and that's sort of like turning a blind. What they've done so far is turn a blind eye to the bycatch. Why are our Hector's dolphins engaged as well?
Fishing.
Fishing. Absolutely, it's fishing. It's set net. A lot of it is agriculture pollution, but no one will ever say that. No one in government will ever acknowledge that because that's going to damage profits. Basically. Anyway, so Sea Shepherd we're trying to work with the government. Currently, I think Winston Peters has actually legislated that security cameras are a requirement on all commercial fishing vessels, and that's going to help us look at the bycatch and look at what's realistic.
That's something I wouldn't have expected.
I wouldn't have expected it either, but it's currently happening. It's awesome, and so I hope that we'll see really tangible results from that. And being able to talk to local fishermen about their set nets, making sure they are the legal requirement from shore. I think it's 4 miles from shore, but again, they're way too close. They're so much closer than that. Yeah. So a lot of fishing nets on the buoys have a phone number or contact details for the fishermen, and so Sea Shepherd just keep a note of that. Just contact, talk, be nice. hey, are you aware that your fishing net is too close to shore and this is what can happen ABC? Because Hector's dolphins are very close coast-dwelling creatures.
Right.
They don't usually venture out more than 100 metres depth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very close to shore.
Yeah.
I was kayaking the other day. I didn't even go more than 20 metres from the head at Scarborough Beach, and a Hector's dolphin came onto the boat. And it's like, this is where they're feeding. It was beautiful. They're such gorgeous little creatures. I love them to bits. So smart and so cheeky. But yeah, it was scary how close it was to shore, where I'd just kayaked past some fishermen who could very easily have damaged it. You know.
Are we talking like line fishermen or?
Line fishermen,
right.
and there are certain nets around that area too.
Oh wow.
And it's sort of like, the evidence is right in front of your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe when fishermen say they've never seen a Hector's dolphin, they've never seen any kind of dolphin close to their nets. I don't believe it because it's not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they feed, that's where they live. So, yeah, it's pretty depressing stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can make a real difference with that and get people educated. The information even we posted last weekend, it was really good for that. It just really highlighted how damaged our environment is, how endangered these animals really are.
Yeah.
You know, predictions of future numbers, you know, it's like,
it's pretty dire.
if you want to see Hector's dolphins alive, commercial fishing needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
For someone like me, I'm a vegan, for those of you who haven't already figured it out.
I was going to be touching on this, yeah.
I obviously don't eat any animals. I don't eat any animal products because I love animals and I don't want to see them die. Basically, our environment is fucked, people. If you haven't noticed already, we are in trouble. Things are not good, and I see, you know, the evidence points to veganism being one of the direct ways that we can help turn this shit around, and also for human health. That's not, you know, something we're talking about right now, but human health, it's really beneficial for that. So, but I think people aren't really willing to see the truth of, like, if you love these animals, you know, this industry needs to stop.
Yeah.
Like, if you love these dolphins, commercial fishing needs to stop because it's their biggest threat. But people don't like that because it threatens their very, you know, what they're so used to. You know, I grew up eating meat, obviously, meat and dairy and everything, and I thought it was the norm. I thought it's what everyone did, therefore it's okay. You know, it's not illegal, therefore it's okay. But it's actually severely damaging our planet and our animals, and we need to start making some changes and thinking about what we're doing. And so that's, yeah, hopefully we can get some more education around that. It's not as hard as everyone thinks, by the way. I thought I could never go through it. So if I can do it, anyone can.
I've been vegetarian-ish
Mm-hmm.
In my life.
Yes.
So there was a long time where I was just eating vegetables and that side of things, and my proteins came from eggs and things like that. So definitely not vegan by any stretch.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'd eat some chicken or something. And I'm still a wee bit like that now. I don't eat a lot of meat now. And part of it's because of what you just said, but I will still eat some. But I feel as though for me it's still making a change for the better in reducing what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And, like, no person should be encouraged to just stop completely. If that's your thing, if that's the way that you can operate, totally go for it. That's not the way that most people do things. And so, you know, meatless Mondays, meat-free May that we just run at uni, the Veg Club, like, just little changes, reducing the amount, taking smaller steps. A lot of vegans and vegetarians will say, you know, that's not okay, baby steps for babies, you need to just go hard or go home, you know, it's all or nothing.
That's kind of poisonous.
That's a really bad attitude. That's going to push people away, and that sort of perpetuates the angry vegan stereotype, which I totally understand. I get very angry about this kind of stuff sometimes, but when you need...
It's only when you're being attacked about it. It's not like you're going out and pick
I'm
a
not
fence
going
and
to
say,
yell at people.
you need to change this now because of this.
Exactly. I'm not going to insult people about this.
Yeah.
I educate people. I help people make these positive changes.
Yeah.
And
So it's more if somebody else brings up these sorts of things and you're sitting there and they'll argue with you saying,
absolutely.
no, it's actually good for us, and you sit there and go,
and I'm going to say,
when you get
actually,
upset.
here's this study, here's this experience that someone had, here's an experience that I've had, here's all the research that I've done, think about your choices, this is the benefit that we can do, this is the good that we can do for the planet. If you don't want to change, if you're just going to yell bacon at me, then I'm not going to waste my time because you're not the target audience.
Yeah.
They're not the sort of person that's going to change, and I think a lot of people just waste their time getting into arguments with
the wrong people who are
the
never
wrong
going to change.
people. They're never going to change. Use your energy on someone who's open-minded and wants to be educated.
Yeah.
Is looking for some way to change their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So what other kinds of activism, I guess, do you get involved in? Is it just the animal side of things, or?
I think I like to focus a lot on the animal side of things. I think and that doesn't mean that I don't advocate for human rights. I advocate for rights for all living beings on this planet, basically. For human rights, I really love to support sexual assault awareness that we've been talking about. Pride awareness, so I use the term pride for LGBTQIA+. Those terms that I don't ever get right, so I just use pride.
say LGBTQ+.
Yeah, exactly. Rainbow community, pride community, everything in between, visibility, and rights, and the right to self-expression. Feminism, I'm really into that. Obviously, against sexism, racism, homophobia, everything that prevents people from the freedom of self-expression and for being who they are. And I think I don't get as much into the activism side of those because I think there's people out there doing an amazing job already. I think that human rights is something that is going to happen. Equal rights for humans is something that's going to happen very soon. I like to hope. I think there's a lot of movements out there that are really changing this generation and future generations. I focus on animals because it's something that people don't think about as much as human rights.
Well, they don't have a voice.
They don't have a voice. And that's, again, one of the organisations that I volunteer for. It's called Anonymous for the Voiceless, because animals are voiceless, and as humans, it is our job to be their voice. They can't stand up for themselves, but humans can. And so it's our job as humans to stand up for animals and help them get better treatment and their rights. So, yeah, while I am a human rights activist and, enthusiast, again, that exactly like you said, you put it perfectly, stand up for the voiceless. That's right. That doesn't mean I'm not into human rights, and that's what a lot of anti-animal rights people will say is, if you should be caring about something that really matters, why don't you help humans?
How does our environment not matter?
Exactly.
We're kind of screwing it up so badly that it's going to screw up the human side of things anyway.
Exactly. Your children will not have a future.
Yeah.
If I don't do what I do,
Human rights and everything, and the environmental side of things are intrinsically linked.
It all
and
links
so many
absolutely.
people don't understand.
Absolutely
it's
right.
Like in New Zealand, we've just had the first bee go on the endangered list.
Yeah.
That's a really scary thought.
That's a scary thought.
Bees coming through and going down, because that will fuck everything up.
Absolutely.
If bees go.
Absolutely.
And people are just going, but it's just a bee. Like, no.
It's not just a bee.
They're the one. They're the reason those trees out there have gotten so large. They're the reason we've got all these pretty flowers around the place.
Yeah.
Without them, we will fall over.
Exactly.
Without the grass being able to resow itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're not going to have cattle being able to graze or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so many things that people just don't think about.
No. And like I said, it's all intrinsically linked in with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. We've been talking for a fair while now.
We have.
It's been an hour and a quarter almost, which is
goodness. That's a long podcast.
Yeah, I usually try and keep them around the sort of hour mark. So
Okay.
Hour and 50. I'm okay with that.
It's not done too badly.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for continuing this long. If you're still listening right now, you've done really well.
I know how annoying my voice can get, so congratulations. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much to my guest Lauren for coming in and speaking with me today. It's been
so welcome.
eye-opening. It's been really, really interesting. I've really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And it was cool touching back on old times as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It wasn't that long ago, it was only a couple of years, but it's not something that I generally talk about or, if I'm honest, think about too much anymore.
Yeah,
so
time
it's
has
really
flown
cool.
by. And thank you for reminding me of Brad, the
Oh,
Buckstain. I forgot about him.
Buckstain. Oh.
I forgot that happened.
My
That's
body
story
actually physically shakes in anger when
Like,
his name is mentioned.
I
It
want
just-
to punch him in the face. And I'm not a violent person, but I want to punch his stupid little face.
It terrifies me that he could still be
Out there doing
out there.
terrible things.
Yeah.
But I hope he's in a country with a much tougher jurisdiction than
Well,
New Zealand. I hope he's back in the States.
If he's back in the States, we've got a president who'll sit there and say grab it by the pussy, so I'm not so sure about that.
Then again, Brad wasn't white, so I mean maybe maybe we've got racism on our side, but
Jesus.
oh Jesus.
Oh dear, oh dear. Racism on our side for once.
That's something I never thought I would say.
That's terrifying. Yeah, so cool. Again, thank you very much. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time.